Amanda?
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
I gotta hit record. Hold on. Okay, so this is going to be, let me get this. Okay, so this is the Trumpster Fire for the online trolls episode. All right. Start.
Amanda,
Yes, Colleen.
we need to talk about our troller in chief.
What the fuck's he done now? Just like never ending. What's he done now? Seriously. Which one?
Yeah, so the most recent one that he wrote is about, where is it? It's so awful.
See, folks, we actually use research.
Yeah, we research a lot.
We research a lot. We pull quotes. We find video. We watch. So she's actually got her laptop over here.
And I closed his tweet because he's awful.
So we have his tweet up. We have the other one up.
I closed his Twitter feed.
This is quite literally like, this is what we do when we record. We check our resources. We use actual documents and evidence to bring to you.
Oh, here it is.
Okay. So
this is also, So Kirsten Gillibrand called for Donald Trump to be investigated. This is the background. This is the only background you need.
I approve. I agree with her.
He tweeted at 8:03 a.m. on December 12th, 2017. Lightweight Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, a total flunky for Chuck Schumer and someone who would come to my office begging, quote, for campaign contributions not so long ago, parens, and would do anything for them, parens, is now in the ring fighting against Trump. He also wrote this and he talked about himself in the third person. Very disloyal to Bill, I don't know who that is, and crooked. Well, used, all caps. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little feminist reading of that for a second.
He's such a troll. So, okay, go
So when this came out, you will notice some parallels between this and what we talked about.
I was going to say
talk.
that, yes.
Gendered.
Oh my God.
It is, first of all, calls her a lightweight, right? So this assumption that she isn't where she belongs. She's not powerful. Flunky for a man, right? So is just kind of, I read that almost as floozy. And then the thing that people are really latching onto is begging for campaign contributions and would do anything for them. He's calling her a whore.
He's basically saying
he's calling her a whore.
Yeah, that she if you say, well, and she would do anything, that means what? Did you
probably, as we know, he liked to say to women, I bet you look good on your knees and things like that.
He's basically saying she would trade sexual favors for campaign contributions. Yes. That's the underlying message there. What a fucker.
And NPR I can't believe NPR had to fact check a tweet, but NPR fact checked this tweet yesterday.
Tweets are policy now, didn't you know?
And Kirsten Gillibrand did meet with Donald Trump once. I think it was in 2012, I think they said, but I'd have to check. And Ivanka was in the meeting. Okay. So unless there's some weird thing going on with Ivanka too, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But this is my favorite part.
Okay.
Used.
Yeah.
Tell us. This language about that a woman is dirty or used up or isn't clean. There's so much sexual innuendo in that, as if she's dirty. She's something to be tossed out. And so this is the president writing this on his Twitter feed.
By the way, she's a senator, is she not?
She's a senator. Senator of New York.
Okay, she responded to this.
Bill? I
think. Well, he said Bill and crooked. He calls Hillary crooked. So it's he's talking about Bill Clinton.
Got it.
So, but she responded to this tweet, did she not?
Oh, she responded.
Because I think we need to talk about who she actually is and a little bit about, because she's quite frankly, she's more ethical and more upstanding than the troller in chief.
And it's funny because
what did she say to him
before all this happened earlier this weekend? I was writing on my social media about how I think she should run for 2020.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought I was brilliant, I had come up with something. But clearly there's actually this big movement for her to run for 2020.
Yeah. I'd like to see Kamala Harris run too, but anyway.
I would like them on the same ticket.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Oh my God. Okay. But didn't she?
So
what
she
was
is
her
a United States Senator from New York,
Mm-hmm.
and she assumed office on January 26, 2009.
Okay.
She was preceded by Hillary Clinton. So She was a member of the U.S. House of Representatives from New York's 20th District from 2007 to 2009. So she is rising through the ranks. And she came on my radar thanks to a documentary called Invisible War that is about sexual assault in the military.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
So she's
one.
done it's great.
Okay.
I mean, it's great.
Yeah.
That can be. But she is in it, and she is one of the women that the women in the film go to for help on this work of trying to undo the sexual assault problem in the military. So that's how she first got on my radar. And she's also been really prominent in the conversation about gender violence on campuses. So I've been watching her from the beginning because she overtly talks about women's issues when she talks.
That's interesting.
And so the fact that he went after her, and so this is her other
she's
response.
probably not the right person to go after because she has lots of knowledge.
So she says, and she understands what she understands this kind of structural thing that he's trying to do, which is silence her. So she tweeted back, "You cannot silence me or the millions of women who have gotten off the sidelines to speak about the unfitness and shame you have brought to the Oval Office." So she wrote that as a direct, a direct reply to the tweet.
That's wonderful.
And then she also wrote, "Women are a force to be reckoned with. We won't be silenced." So it's interesting that she's bringing it back around to this idea of feminism, right? That women are constantly trying to be silenced by the structures. So he does all the things that people do when they're trying to silence, like the trolls did. You are not legitimate. You are not in your place of work because you're illegitimate. You must have gotten there because you were a whore, and you are disloyal, and you are dirty and used and no longer useful. So this connection of sexuality that often gets thrown in. It's like when people were like, "I'm a lesbian," or "I'm overweight," or all that kind of language. That was
gendered
like
and
all
ad hominem
in
attacks.
one little tweet from Donald Trump. He managed to do all the things that a troll will do, but I guess because he has 45,000 followers, I don't even know how. So he is a troll. This is trolling behavior.
It is
not engaging with ideas.
Right.
Ad hominem attack.
Yep.
She wasn't ad hominem attacking me. She was calling for a review of, in light of everything else that's going on, a review of the women that came forward before the election, right? When you are accused of those things and you're campaigning, that's different than when you are now president. Right? So what do we do now? And she was calling for a review of this. So he has 44 million followers. So I guess that means he can't be a troll. I mean, he is literally the troll in chief.
He is the troll in chief.
And every article I've read about it is like, how low can this guy go?
Well,
how low can you go?
It's gendered. Since last year,
he's using, indigenous slurs. It is unbelievable.
And he keeps going lower and lower and lower. And I mean, she's right. He needs to be investigated. I mean, I know Bob Mueller's doing the investigation on the Russia thing, but I mean, he needs to be investigated for the sexual harassment
I think it's
accusations.
17 women now.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a legitimate point. Again, she's making a legitimate point.
She's doing her job. Which was a point I made a lot when I was getting trolled too. I was doing my job. This is what I'm paid to do.
Right. So she's doing her job. This is something she knows an awful lot about. She's spent a lot of her political capital on talking about it, on promoting, these issues. And so for him to go, I mean, we've talked about this before, but this really is the another example of, here is a man in power who is so fragile. He cannot handle any kind of criticism, especially being challenged by a woman. That we see again.
Megyn Kelly was bleeding and again. She must be menstruating.
And again. It's just constant. So his trolling in chief, his online troll behavior, I would like to see him called out and investigated for that. I mean, we've talked about it before. I wish somebody would close his Twitter account. Can I report
that tweet?
I think you should.
There have been calls for people to claim him as a troll.
Maybe if we all report him for these troll behaviors and quotes and comments online, maybe Twitter will, I don't know what they would do, but maybe they probably can't, but I think it's worth reporting.
But here's the other thing. He blocks people now too. Are you allowed to do that?
As the president?
Is this an official right? So does
yeah.
that mean you're denying the Americans that you are leading access to your ideas if you block them? Like, what are these lines that we don't even understand?
They're being blurred.
You are. Elizabeth Warren sent a tweet out yesterday saying that he was slut shaming, and some people are like, "Well, that's a stretch." Well, he really is. He's calling her a slut.
He's calling her a whore.
And
who would do
as if that were bad, right?
For...
Like a woman who wants to have sex is not a bad person, but we shame.
Right, but the idea
we conflate morality into sexuality.
Yeah.
And so
the
I
idea
see
of trading, sexual favors or something, that's what's implied in that tweet, is trading sexual favors for campaign contributions or votes or whatever. And that, it's just disgusting.
He didn't write that about Chuck Schumer.
No, he didn't. He doesn't write that
Chuck
about
Schumer is an out gay man, right?
So
why doesn't he write that about Chuck Schumer? Because he's a man.
He's a man.
And he would never write that.
About a man who challenges him.
Right. He'll write other things. He'll go after their masculinity.
Yeah.
He'll call them small. He'll make jokes about his dick. Remember that?
Yeah,
Do you remember that during the debates?
The dick comments.
His
small hands.
The way that he is connecting masculinity with like every insult.
Yeah.
It is shameful.
It is shameful. So we actually have a troller in chief in the White House. We have an online troll sitting in the Oval Office, and that does not inspire confidence for me in the future of our nation and the direction we're going, because this is the level of his brain.
And it emboldens those other idiots who are writing to me.
Exactly.
If you see him doing it,
absolutely.
And look, what punishment is he getting? Why wouldn't who wouldn't do this?
Right. So the alt-right online troll army is absolutely being emboldened by seeing the troller in chief say these horrible things, especially about women, so they feel empowered to go after women themselves.
So let's call this what this is, right? Trolling. If we use that definition that we talked about earlier in the episode, let's call this what this is.
Trolling.
And there was something in that definition, I think, about switching the topic or diverting forcing readers into an emotional response and disrupting normal on-topic discussion for the troll's amusement. So shifting it to her sexuality, right? And so this is if we use that definition. I could write an essay for y'all about
Trump
this, but
is a troll.
This is
an online troll.
That comment to Kirsten Gillibrand, a sitting senator, is troll behavior. Let's call it what it is.
Right. So bottom line, we have a troll in the White House.
Troll in chief.
So I think there's lots of things we could do to get rid of the troll. I think one of the things is flipping the House next year to basically take the troll's power away from him. If we flip the House, we make him...
Don't feed the trolls.
Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls. Okay. I know.
Oh, I gotta look up how to say this girl's name.
All right. Yep. Do that so we can get your thing done. Your fierce woman warrior.
Sarkeesian.
Okay. Oop. This is the Trumpster Fire.
I really want to start picking women of color. I feel like
I'm doing Mo.
Good.
For
okay, good.
One of the episodes, I think it's Mo.
Okay.
And I want to do Malia Powell for one coming up in the spring. So yeah, I think we need to. I'm trying to make a So this is episode 28. Troller in chief. Save.
Circadian.
So all we have is your fierce woman warrior, and we need to do the table talk for toxic masculinity and the
Trumpster.
Yeah. Here, can you shut that off? Bye everybody. Yeah, pull that down. Just hit stop.